Welcome to Barbecue Stories. Cheating Secrets Channel. Most stories, I think, start right from the beginning, but here, I believe it's better if we begin at the end. So here I am, sitting in a waffle cafe at 3:30 p.m. Behind me, 2 tables away, a couple of girls were once again complaining about their boss. 3 young women directly in front of me were stuffing themselves with toast, and the waitress, Party, had just refilled my glass. Suddenly, a shadow loomed over me. "Well, Max," I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "I was wondering when you'd decide to show up." Max, or rather Maxwell K., was my former father-in-law. Chris, could we talk?" he asked. Damn, I've known this man for over 7 years, and for the first time, he seemed genuinely pleasant to me. He looked like someone entirely different, a man who wasn't brimming with confidence and control, a sight I had to witness and hear for myself. "Sit down, Max. You're scaring the kids," I said as he took a seat across from me. The girls nearby glanced our way in surprise. Max had always been a formidable figure, both in stature and in mind. He owns the largest warehouse in the area and runs the only substantial freight company within 100 miles. When the local economy started declining about 15 years ago, Max managed to stay afloat, and many people owe him their livelihoods, their homes, and sometimes even their lives. And don't forget, he stands at 6 feet 6 inches, still looks like he could work in the big house, and is not the kind of man anyone would want to mess with. Max slumped across from me in a private booth, looking like he'd been through hell, unshaven, with dark circles under his eyes, signs of sleepless nights at the K's household. Poor kids. "Chris, I know you're hurt, but can't you and Kelly just move past this little incident?" he asked. A little incident? I forced myself to remain silent, even though my heart felt like it was going to beat right out of my chest. My hands were clammy, and I fought the impulse to reach across the table and strangle him. It took a few moments to calm down. I had to remind myself, I didn't want to brawl with Max, I wanted to come out victorious. Once I was calm, I noticed everyone around us was trying hard to act like they weren't listening. But damn it, I knew they were dying to hear the drama. So why not give them a show? "All right, Max, which part of this incident do you want me to forget?" I asked, my voice low but not bothering to whisper. "It was just one time," he said. "No, Max. This went on for years, and you know it. She never did anything like this before." "She never cheated," he replied. "Come on, Max. She's been playing me for years, and you want the whole truth." "Fine," I said, picking up my biscuit. "When I first met her and tried to get her number, she made it a point to show off every guy who wanted to sleep with her, and even those who already had." "Why, Max? Why did she do that?" "She was trying to push you away, Chris. But you managed to win her over," he said. "Nope," I interrupted, spreading apple jam on my toast. "She wanted to see if I'd fight for her, and like an idiot, I did. I gave her all the attention she was craving." I took a bite of the biscuit and continued. "Then she brought me home to meet you, her dad. And even back then, you hated me. You didn't like my politics, my career, my style, none of it. At first, I thought it was just the grumblings of an overprotective father, but no, you simply didn't like me. I was never good enough for your little princess." Max clenched his jaw, but he couldn't argue. He knew I was right. I paused, savoring the jam. "I wanted to prove to you that I was a good guy, but I couldn't. I was supposed to just accept everything you said without a word. Oh, we had some royal battles over that. And yet, after all that, I'd sit there, letting you insult me. Tell me, Max, was there ever a time I humiliated you in front of your friends? Sat there, arguing with you about everything and coming out on top? No, you can't recall anything like that, can you?" He was silent, struggling to find words. I took a big gulp of my drink, observing him closely. He hadn't expected this reaction. He had wanted me to be hurt and broken, so he could swoop in, pleading and begging to save my marriage. Oh, and then she started hanging out with her old friends again, telling me they were just friends, I said, raising a hand to stop Max from defending her. I knew she wasn't cheating then. Believe me, after I beat up poor little Thomas for grabbing her, they all came and assured me nothing happened. But this was another test. She wanted to see if I'd get jealous when she met up with her old lovers, the ones she had slept with in her own bed. After that, we broke up. The best 3 months of my life. I finished my cookie and brushed off my hands. Max was speechless. Maybe he was finally realizing she wasn't as innocent as he thought, or perhaps he had always known and just didn't want to admit it. Well, I let her convince me to come back, and things got better for a while. Then I made the mistake of proposing to her. I won that damn ring at a jeweler's competition. It didn't mean much to me. But I went ahead and proposed. That's when the weird stuff started happening. All these stunning women started hitting on me, at work, at the gym, even while I was shopping. They were everywhere. Max listened, his face a mix of shock and realization. I leaned in. So do you think I passed their little test? Even on our wedding day, you had me sign that prenup. If I ever cheated, I'd get nothing. But funny how it didn't mention what would happen if she cheated, right? I paused, letting that sink in before continuing. And then last Saturday, everything fell apart. I came home after a hellish day at work, only to find another car parked in my spot. Kelly's car was in the driveway, but where was Kelly? I went upstairs, and there she was, in bed with another guy. In our bed. Can you believe that? And she had the nerve to say, "Darling, could you bring us something to drink, please?" That brought me out of my shock, I must say. You want me to bring drinks for you too? I asked. She sweetly smiled, giving me that typical cocky grin, and said, "Yes, go get something from your stash of beer." Damn it. You piece of trash, I spat out, if you want a drink, go get it yourself. She groaned in annoyance, don't talk like that. Shut up, idiot. You agreed to this before the wedding, didn't you? Then the little bastard chimed in, come on, man, don't rock the boat. You'll get her 4 or 5 nights a week, and you get to live in this big house with that nice piece. Just accept it. I couldn't hold back. Say that to me again, and you'll be eating through a straw for the rest of your life, I snapped. I had never seen a man deflate so quickly, not only physically but as a man. He looked like he was about to wet the bed. Screw you, trash. Keep this damned house. I'm leaving, I shouted, and who did I bump into in the hallway? Mike, your damn son. Quite a twisted family you've got, huh? Your daughter with that bastard in my marital bed, and Mike wandering around the house like nothing's wrong. Mike was all set to help his sister. Slow down, Chris, this isn't what you think, he said. Get lost, I replied, what the hell are you doing here? No, forget it. I'm out. Get out of my way. I tried to walk past him, but he grabbed my arm. Now, you know I don't like Mike, so when he grabbed me, well, you can guess what happened next. He's feeling better now, right? It only took one hit. I swear, I aimed to break his jaw, but I struck his throat instead. If you've ever been punched in the throat, you know you're out cold. Then, I headed to my room, grabbed my camping backpack, I needed that gear, and walked straight to the door. Mike's better now, isn't he? Well, that's what the doctors say. Great, but honestly, who cares? I played with my toast a bit before continuing. Now, where was I? Oh, right. Kelly ran out of the house as I was leaving, her little robe flapping in the wind, shouting into the storm. But hey, she made her bed. Where did I go? That was easy. I still had my old house, recently renovated and not yet rented out. It was the perfect place to stay. On Sunday, I drove back to the house to pick up my things. No one was there, maybe they'd gone to church, I don't know. I gathered my clothes and anything else I needed, then went to the Salvation Army for a bed. The floor was just too hard. There was laughter around me as I sipped my dew. And who was waiting when I returned? Your precious daughter. Well, I couldn't care less about the bed in the truck at that moment. I parked and headed to the door. Chris, she shouted, running toward me from her car. Please stop, we need to talk. I have to explain everything. That's all I heard because, by then, I was already inside. She knocked, rang the bell, and all that, but I wasn't going to talk to a cheater. What was there to explain? She slept with another guy in my bed. End of story. Did I open the door and yell at her? No. Did I call the police? No. Did I sneak out the back door? No. I put on my headphones and started reading a magazine. Eventually, the cops showed up and told her to leave. It took them a while to get me to open the door, but after I noticed the light from their car, I had to comply. Nothing special, it's my house, in my name, and I can be there if I want. So they sent her away. If it had been anyone else, they'd have been in jail, but she's your little girl, Max. Max nervously thanked Hardy when she placed a cup of coffee in front of him. He wasn't used to this, he usually controlled everything, ran the show, but now I was in charge and wasn't letting go of the reins. Well, on Monday, I withdrew my $12,000 from our bank account, cancelled all our joint credit cards, not that I ever used them, and cleaned up. I also went to SNK for an interview. They'd been looking for expansion opportunities and had tried to convince me before, but Kelly thought it was too risky. Damn, when I went on my own, they made me a good offer, and I took it. Then I went to my boss's office. Tom, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm leaving, I told him. Why? I thought you liked it here, he said, genuinely concerned. Actually, I hate it. You're a good boss, but I didn't go to college to be a clerk. I recently caught my wife with another man, and I need to leave. Damn, is it Kelly? I don't want to lose you. Is there any way I can convince you to stay? He asked. Sorry, Tom, but there's nothing you can do. Thanks for everything. As I walked out, I noticed his secretary chatting innocently on the phone. You know that witch was gossiping about what she overheard. Then I visited Mrs. Hines, a good lawyer, right? Yeah, I know. She has an assistant helping with the divorce. But someone was hoping Kelly wouldn't get the papers at work on Tuesday. Well, they tried to convince me all day yesterday and today to talk to her, but I just walked away. I think your guys saw my car and thought they could fix things between me and Kelly. So, Max, what was that little incident? She was sleeping with another guy in our marital bed. Let's see, Max, why did she cheat? I had a choice initially, I could have left them in my bed. She would have loved that, satisfied her higher sexual drive. But no, I didn't play that game. For years, I put up with your damned family and their tests. What did I get? Trust? Love? Respect? No, I came home to see her with another man. She wanted me to prove myself once more, but I walked away. I didn't play that game, Max. Max finally composed himself. Isn't there anything that could save your marriage? I know Kelly genuinely loves you, he almost pleaded. She loves me. Max, I'm tired. Really? Just then, I heard the door of the Waffle Cafe open. I don't know what you did to raise your daughter like that, but I can't live with it anymore. She'll never change. She needs someone who can show their need for her constantly, and I don't have that left in me. I loved her, Max, but she killed that. I hope you're all happy now. I stood up, and Max didn't move as I put on my jacket. I noticed Kelly standing by the counter. She must have heard my last remark. As our eyes met, I saw tears in hers, a tremble in her chin, but I felt nothing. I pulled out a $20 bill, placed it on the table, and walked out into the night. Thank you for listening until the end. See you in the next episode of Cheating Secrets. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Goodbye.